Sunday night, you know what time it is. It's time for another KJ's What Happened. And thanks for being here. As always, thanks for checking in. Hope you're doing well. Hope you had a good week. Hope things are looking good for this week. Hang in there. Keep your chin up. So this week wasn't quite as crazy as some of the most recent, but I've got several stories I want to show you. Some of the stories I was going to show you, I'm converting into videos or adding to videos I was already working on for this week. I also want to say a big thanks to my Patreon supporters. Thanks so much, guys. I'll be doing a live show with you all here probably this week. I put a message out last week. I'm getting some people are seem interested. So I'm going to leave it up there a little bit longer, and we'll just do like a full-on live show with a whole bunch of guests and just one at a time go through and just kind of chat about whatever. I think it'll be fun. I haven't done one of those in a long time, so that should be cool. And big thanks to Silver Botanicals as well. So if you're not familiar with Silver Botanicals, it's my sponsor. Check them out sometime, silverbotanicals.com. Replace toxic products in your household with something all natural and safe. With that being said, let's go ahead and get started. There have been a lot of stories over the last few weeks about Loch Ness Monster. And in fact, there was a little creature that washed up on a beach a couple weeks ago that looked exactly like a Loch Ness Monster. You know, these are like mainstream stories. I mean, you're not going to hear them on your nightly news. You may hear them on local news, but the stuff's happening all the time. And now we got this story right here. The tourist claims he spotted the famed Loch Ness Monster and has 10 minutes of footage of the creature cavorting in the water. And I'll see if I can bring this up. Let's see. Expand that. I think this is the video. Let's see if it'll go wide. There we go. This is only a couple minutes worth. But, you know, it's interesting. Once again, Loch Ness Monster. You know, as time goes on, these mysteries just, they're so basic. You know, Loch Ness, Bigfoot, it's very basic. You know, look at some of the stuff we look into. You know, we're far beyond Loch Ness Monster and Bigfoot. But it's interesting that that stuff's really coming out more and more now as well. And there's so much footage of this thing now. And like I said, the little creature that washed up on the beach a few weeks ago looks just like it. So, you know, I think this mystery is getting close to being solved. Probably, you know, I don't know how you are on history, like how many years the Earth has actually been here. But I look into a lot of Kent Hovind. I like a lot of his talks. So when I see stories like this, it's just, to me, it makes me think that, you know, these are just relics of the dinosaurs. And the dinosaurs really weren't here millions and millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of years ago. It was sooner than that. I mean, we've been lied to about everything, right? So probably just another one of those kind of like things. The Loch Ness Monster is just a, whatever they call it, a plesiosaur or something, but there's a term for it. And it looks just like those kind of water-dwelling dinosaurs we've seen in movies and TV shows and toys, you know? So Loch Ness Monster on the prowl, coming to get you. Loch Ness Monster crawling under your bed, just waiting. Starbucks training employees forced to watch video after video of white cops attacking blacks. That's why a while back I've said, and plus with all the symbolism around Starbucks and everything else, just crash and burn already, please. You know, just crash and burn, please. You can get better coffee cheaper anywhere. Really, 7-Eleven. I get better coffee at 7-Eleven. It's a convenience store near where I'm located. Starbucks billed Tuesday's training as a one-step in addressing racial bias, and national reports have called the company's move an important start. But for two Philadelphia Starbucks employees I talked to, the training merely targeted people of color and exacerbated racial tensions. I spoke with the baristas separately on Tuesday evening after they attended the training at a Sheraton hotel with employees for about 4 districts in the region. Between 1 p.m. and 7 p.m., 6 hours worth of programming there. They had sat with fellow employees, listening to a few presentations, watching a number of videos, journaling, and occasionally talking to colleagues and session leaders in small, self-guided groups. Both baristas told me that the training had missed the mark completely. Instead of addressing racial tension head-on, the training mostly beat around the bush, said one of the baristas, a 24-year-old Latino man we'll call Jamie. I was really disappointed when I walked out of there because I was expecting so much more, said the other barista. It felt like we were off task the entire time because we didn't reflect on the situation itself. And Tina, who has worked at Starbucks said Tina, who's worked at Starbucks for a year, the training materials focused a lot on police brutality, which had nothing to do with the incident that happened. That's the most important sentence in the paragraph. Just more programming, more conditioning, more of these divisive politics. You just crash and burn, please. Starbucks already. We're tired of it. Tired of you. I don't like you anymore. Cyclist filmed in terrifying zombie killer knife attack on motorist in Broadway daylight in South London. Whoa. The shocking dash cam footage shows a blue Volkswagen drive out in the London road Croydon, forcing a cyclist to swerve to avoid being hit. With the car stuck in a line of traffic unable to move, the enraged cyclist pulls a massive blade out and launches a frenzied attack. Brandishing the knife, he kicks the vehicle and slashes at the windows while the driver cowers inside. Is there video? Here's a video. And this is what happened right here. Whoa. That's scary, man. Like, this guy wants him. These guys are coming to help. He's out of there. There you go. People losing it. Wow, look at that knife. You do some damage. People be tripping. There's definitely a huge increase in road rage. Local news did a story on road rage just this past week where I'm at. And apparently it's exploding out here, but I never see it. But I don't get out much. Really just wanted to just kind of toss this one in there because I rarely see good news. It's off occasion I'll find something that's heartwarming and sweet. This was nice. This if they have the video, looks like maybe they don't. But an 8-year-old boy in Milledgeville, Georgia, saw a woman struggling to get up some steps. He didn't hesitate to jump in and help. Maurice Adams Jr. was with his mother. When he saw the woman with her walker, he ran up the steps, put an arm around the woman, and helped her pick up her walker. The two made it up the steps with teamwork and celebrated with a big hug. Okay, here we go. Here's the video. The saddest thing for me about this is that nowadays we get excited when we see something like this. You know, you would hope this would be all the time. And I'm sure it's happening all over the place, you know, but just in a world like this, you know, you get a story like this and it's just like they're saying in the article, it's gone viral. Everyone's talking about it. Everyone's looking at this. It's incredible. Look what he's done, you know. Basic human decency. Wow. You know, but really, I mean, I'm glad the kid did it. I think it's sweet. We need more of this, but, you know, more of that kind of stuff. Just basic human decency, you know? What's wrong with that? Florida woman named Crystal Methvin arrested for possession of crystal meth. Florida police arrested a woman named Crystal Methvin. I've never heard that name before. For possession of crystal meth. I mean, there's not much more to the story, guys. That's pretty much it. but I thought that was kind of funny. Florida woman named Crystal Methvin arrested for possession of crystal meth. Methvin. Never heard that name. This is, let me see. I think this is connected to another one. Yeah, there's another video here, but parents are demanding change to sex ed curriculum in schools.
ABC Action News in the morning. 5:43 now, and parents in Pinellas County are outraged after seeing our story about this controversial sex ed program in schools, and today they're demanding change.
Yeah, ABC Action News reporter Laura Rosella is live this morning with the reason that they're so upset and also what they want to see done. Good morning, Laura.
Good morning, guys. So parents are coming here to the Pinellas County Health Department later today to make those concerns known. This is after they recently learned that a Christian faith-based group is providing
oh no, guys, hold on. Did you hear that? Oh my, a Christian-based group. Oh my gosh, and they're getting to your kids. They're talking about abstinence. Get them out of there, all right? Get them out. All right, I'm sorry. Here you go. Let's continue.
No, this is after they recently learned that a Christian faith-based group is providing abstinence-only sex education to their kids. Now, some are worried that these teachings could come from a biased source and that kids are not getting the information that they need. Now, they're joining together to push for evidence-based sex ed, which addresses STDs and unwanted pregnancies, but in a way that doesn't scare kids.
Because abstinence scares kids.
I want him to know exactly what's going on with his body and not, sugarcoat things.
The organization that's called More to Life says that they keep religion out of their presentations and that they're also helping kids choose abstinence. The parents plan to push for local and state change today, working to overturn state rules that require abstinence-only sex education in schools. Now, back out here live, that meeting is later this afternoon at 2:30, and we will give you an update on what happens on our free ABC Action.
So now here's the other story that kind of connects with that. Here's Chubbs. Hi, Chubbs. You want to say something? Huh? All right, maybe later. So now come on over here. Oh, come on. I'm just trying to move my cat. Sorry, Chubbs is a handful. That's why he's called Chubbs. He's not easy to move. So here's the other side of it. Here's the other side of the story. I think there's a video here. We'll play this. It's loading up right now. So on one hand, you've got people wanting to teach abstinence. At least give the kids a choice of that, right?
That it can be hard to know.
Let me turn that stupid ad down and let that play out first. So we got that. Now, now we got the other side of this as well. I always say this, I don't have kids, but I can only imagine what it'd be like knowing what I know about public school. I just don't think I could do it. And I know that it's tough financially. It's got to be a burden on people to, try to homeschool or put them in a private school. I understand that. I mean, that's the way this beast system is rigged. It's all set up. They want you in these public schools. And there's Chubbs. Okay, so let's check this out.
With the proposed new sex ed curriculum loud and clear tonight, they say possible lessons are too graphic for young students. ABC 7 News reporter Katie Marzullo has the story.
Too much too late! Too much too late!
Parents made their voices heard before the meeting began.
Let this begin!
Now, this part I like, but you're going to see the counter group to this, which is the group that's already in most schools anyway, teaching kids really dirty stuff. You've probably seen some of these videos. I mean, there's even a video came out a few months ago of a man dressed as a woman, she-male or whatever, up on stage in front of little kids, like elementary school, singing and dancing and cavorting. That's the word for the night, cavorting around on stage. Hey, and that's just one example. I mean, not to mention all the Common Core and all the other garbage that's involved in these government-run schools. But anyway, I'll continue. You check this out.
Against a new sex ed curriculum that would be taught in Fremont schools. It would include discussion of sexual orientation and HIV in 5th grade.
It's very sexually explicit to a lot of them, especially since the curriculum is taught for 4th grade and up.
The Associate Superintendent for Instruction said the subject matter has been vetted by experts.
Making sure that any instruction that we have in 4th through 6th grade be medically accurate, be inclusive, and
inclusive.
the teachers are very well trained.
California does not actually require sex ed for 4th through 6th grade. Parents accuse the district of trying to implement the new curriculum without going through the proper channels.
Yeah.
Why doesn't board do the right thing by involving parents in the curriculum?
And why is being introduced now and in such rush?
Some people did come to support the curriculum.
More information is always better. This information is going to help the kids make healthier, happier decisions and ultimately stay safe throughout their lives.
The board could make a decision on the new sex ed classes next month. Parents would have the option to opt out. In Fremont, Katie Marzullo, ABC 7 News.
We're hearing tonight from a San Francisco firefighter who thinks a city...
Let me see if I can find something here real quick. Let's see here. Oops, I should learn to spell. Here we go. I went to public school. Sorry. It's not what I wanted. There's one in particular I'm trying to find. Oh, well, that's probably shocking school sex ed. Yeah, probably not the right search. Looks like I'm getting some naughty stuff. But maybe another time. But there is I'll just do a compilation video sometime. There's some interesting footage of some of the sex ed that's being taught to your kids. And it's pretty unbelievable what they're doing in these classes. We'll do that another time. This one right here is a lot of fun. This is really interesting. I'm probably going to wind up sharing this over on my website too. This is a really good one. It's older. This is an older one. No thanks. I don't want YouTube TV because YouTube TV is trying to squeeze me out. Same with YouTube Red. It's a little older, 2009, but wow, what a capture this guy got. He calls it a ghost. It's not a ghost, but I'll play some and then I'll jump ahead to where they see it. Yeah, check this out, man. This is really, really crazy. So, blow this up a little bit.
Dirtstein, Austria. We're about to go into the giant ice caves. We're about to ascend the cave up there. Look at that view. Oh, yeah. Mittlerweile sind wir fast bei 7, 8 Metern angelangt.
So you're getting it. They're on a tour in this cave, and now let me jump ahead here.
Oh my God. 1,000 feet down of ice.
Check this out.
Coming off the side, yeah.
This way, to the left. Yeah, on the left.
Someone climbing up the wall. It's an iceman. It's a ghost. Jesus, what is that? Do you see that? Oh my God. It's climbing up the wall. I'm not kidding you.
Wow. Right? I mean, wow. Yeah, look at that.
It's a ghost.
Not a ghost. Don't know what it is. I don't think it's a ghost climbing a wall. Maybe it's a species we don't understand. And what's really crazy, I've got a background in horror and science fiction. I still look out for horror and science fiction, good ones, decent movies and stuff. But, I've seen most of them. And this really reminds me of a really freaky movie right here called The Descent. And that thing they filmed in that cave looks a lot like these creatures. It's in The Descent. Let me see if I can find an example. So this is about 6 girlfriends going on a cave adventure. and they wind up running into these creatures that look exactly like that thing we were just looking at. Let me find some. Well, can't really see it, but I find a better picture. It's really violent. There's one of them. See? They're white, though. They're like all white. That's like the green lens there, but they're like ghouls or golems or something. But they crawl up all over the cave walls. And there's one of them. I mean, you know, right? When I see stuff like this, it's just how I connect stuff, man. It just goes to show you, like, another example. Like, we're living in a movie in a lot of ways, you know. It just goes to show you, like, it's unbelievable. But anyway, wanted to share that with you. And if you haven't seen that movie and you like a good scary movie, well, that's really, really a good one, I think. Good scary movie, at least. I think they had this fight. I think they did this. Just think it's pretty wild they're coming back to bare knuckle fighting. That is so brutal. First U.S. sanctioned bare knuckle fight in 130 years. And earlier today, I'm pretty sure I saw a headline somewhere saying that they did this over the weekend. Maybe it was last night. They had a huge bare knuckle fighting event. I like some of the UFC stuff. That's about the only sport I keep up with. I don't know anything about football or baseball or any of that stuff. I'll watch some fights, but this is just brutal, man. Bringing in the bare knuckles. It's pretty wild, you know? Oops, we don't want that. Anyway. What do we have here? Oh, yeah. More of this. More of these mystery booms.
Pennsylvania State Police are confirming the investigation of mysterious boom sounds in Bucks County. Now, we first told you about the concerns last week. Police now tell Eyewitness News there have been more than 20 unexplained explosions since April 2nd. Residents have reported hearing the noises in the early morning hours. The FBI is now helping local authorities determine the cause. No injuries have been reported.
Yeah, we showed a little bit of that last week. That's just kind of a follow-up. The mystery booms continue. Speaking of mystery booms, Dr. Dre is building a huge, mysterious compound under his mega mansion. I wonder why. I wonder why. You know, he's one of them Hollywood insiders, I guess you could say. I mean, if anybody's in the know with some of this stuff, I'd have no doubt that he is, and Jay-Z and a whole slew of them. And over the last few weeks, I've put up a few stories about wealthy people creating these bunkers as well. There may even be another one tonight, I think. I'm not sure. But yeah, so, you're seeing all these mystery boom stories over the last couple of years increasing like in a huge way. And now we're seeing more and more stories of people building these underground bunkers, to try to hide from what they believe is coming. Like that train wreck they had a while back. There was a bunch of Republican senators, and they were going out to some retreat. And I can't remember what state that was in, but they were going out to a retreat, and that truck magically appeared on the train tracks, and the train wrecked, right? But the retreat all these Republicans are going to has an underground bunker as well at that place. I thought it was interesting. It was tons of Republican senators and maybe congressmen, just a bunch of those guys, but they were heading out there. I'm not saying they're going out there to hide away. This is a few weeks ago, but, who knows? It just came to my mind. More of these bunkers. Have you seen the trailer for this filth? Wow, this is really, really nasty. Happy Time Murders. Sesame Workshop is suing over Happy Time Murders trailer that features ejaculating puppets. Now, this was on TV, like in the background a while back. I saw the trailer. And it showed everything. It shows that. And it's just, wow, just so gross. Let's see here what they say. The Wrap wrote over the weekend that the people behind beloved children's program Sesame Street are suing over the promotion for their upcoming Melissa McCarthy. Of course, I don't know if she's ever been in a funny movie, you know. My issue with Melissa McCarthy is she's Fatty Fall Down. You know what Fatty Fall Down is? It's how they always put the fat guy or the fat chick in a movie, and they're always dum-dums, and they do silly things, and they always fall down. It's Fatty Fall Down. And the audience laughs. We roar with laughter at Fatty Fall Down. It makes us happy. Keeping us dumb. You know, Melissa McCarthy is definitely doing her part at that. Fatty Fall Down and really dumb entertainment. Melissa McCarthy, Fatty Fall Down, the Happy Time Murders. They're filing a lawsuit claiming that the film's trailer tarnishes the Sesame brand. In the suit filed in federal court in New York on Thursday, Sesame Workshop says the promotion of the film makes unauthorized use of the Sesame Street mark with the tagline, "No Sesame, All Street," and a trailer featuring very un-Sesame Street themes, explains the site. So we get that. There was another one, though, again, with my kind of background in horror and stuff. They're really just kind of ripping this off. But have you ever heard of Peter Jackson, maybe, the director? Kind of a big deal, kind of famous. This is one of his first films. It's called Meet the Feebles. And it's about a bunch of really screwed up puppets. You know, let's see. I don't know how much it's going to show. And so this is an old movie, but the same idea. It's like puppets, you know, having sex and shooting heroin and, you know. Yeah, you get the idea. Meet the Feebles. Just putting this one out there. Let's see if there's a video here.
Police have identified the man in the Halloween mask.
Come on, man. Well, that's not what I wanted to do. Let's go back here. Come on, man. Hold on. Well, whatever. It's acting really, really janky. All right, still is. Anyway, I'm always, you know, pleased to see these stories about citizens who are carrying their weapons, you know, lawfully and stepping up and taking care of crime. We don't hear enough about this, but look at this guy, though. That's the guy that tried to rob him, and this is the demon mask he was wearing, so that's appropriate. A Little Caesars pizza employee who admittedly shot an attacker wearing a demon mask is heard on the 911 call that was released Tuesday saying, "Please help me, I think he's dying. He tried to stab me with a pair of scissors. He hit me in the face with a big piece of wood," the employee said during the call. "I'm bleeding all over the place." Here, Heriberto Feliciano, I don't know. I'll give it a shot. 28 was leaving the Ridgewood Avenue restaurant Saturday shortly before midnight after closing when he was attacked by a man wearing a mask. The masked man, Jesse Coggins, 53 of Greenville, North Carolina, hit Feliciano on the face and shoulder with a wooden post until it broke, and he tried to stab him with scissors, police said. Deputies said Coggins does not have a local arrest history, and it's unclear how long he's been in the area. Feliciano told police he drew his gun and shot the man 4 to 5 times at close range. Feliciano has a concealed weapons permit. Coggins was taken to Health Medical Center, Halifax, where he died. There you go. There you go. But they want to take our guns away. It'd be safer. which they tell us. Mother 19 stabbed a boyfriend during sex after telling him men should only be used for human sacrifice. A young mother has been jailed for 11 years for stabbing her occasional boyfriend as they had sexual intercourse after texting him to say men should only be used as human sacrifice. Zoe Adams, 19, had dressed up as a clown. No surprise there. Outward manifestation of what haunts within. The way I see these things. Up as a clown and put a pillow over Kieran Bewick's head to make their encounter more exhilarating. In what she described as an overreaction, she whispered, "Trust me," to the 17-year-old Bewick before stabbing him 5 times in the chest, arm, and thigh with a 10-inch knife, collapsing his lung. Having seized Adams' iPhone, the court heard of images she had saved on the device, which included a blood-soaked woman with the caption, "Murder is like a bag of chips. You can't stop after just one." The device also had a text message to her victim reading, "I don't think about males unless said male is strapped up and being used as a human sacrifice. You should be grateful you're not a part of it." Adams claimed she could not remember the incident, but sentencing Judge James Adkins said her cruel and sadistic actions were deliberately intended to cause harm to her victim. He added that she planned the attack, taking the knife and duct tape to her bedroom. Mr. Bewick, who is afraid of clowns, had declined Adams' earlier suggestion to be tied up with the tape and the pillow as a compromise. There's your little monster right there. The monsters among us. More of the stuff in the air, more of the flight madness. So much happening with these airlines. Every week there's a new story. A Queensland woman has been hauled off a Jetstar flight by Australian Federal Police in Brisbane today after hurling abuse that startled passengers and crew. Witnesses who were on the plane told the news the woman screamed and shouted abuse for most of the flight. About 20 minutes into the flight, the 47-year-old woman began singing and chanting so loudly that children seated near her began to cry. This prompted cabin crew and even other passengers to attempt to intervene to calm the woman, but she responded by swatting them away with her Bible. "Thanks, Toots. You're really making us look great out there." By swatting them away with her Bible and continuing to shriek. In a statement, Jetstar confirmed that a disruptive passenger was removed from one of their flights today after refusing to follow crew instructions. Yeah. Thanks, Toots. That's great. Make sure you go out in public with your Bible, act the fool, and make the news. You would definitely need more of that. Don't we? So, for you early Christmas shoppers, we got this stuff. Just a shame. Look at this. Bathed in filth. The website Shout Your Abortion describes themselves as working to broaden existing discourse on abortion by creating platforms where discussing it is as normal as the procedure itself. SYA hosts events, makes art, and creates spaces, both digital and physical, for people to share their stories and talk about it on their own terms. Wow. It looks like David Hogg. I love people who have had abortions. $20. There's your stocking stuffers. There's another one. Kill the patriarchy. Yeah. Like this. Can you imagine like really being that excited about that subject? Like really, I mean, we really got to get this out there, man. People need to know about this. This is great. More and more people need to do it, you know? Ugh. So this is interesting. So you got the abortion clothes, and then you got customers also shopped for children's slippers, Sesame Street girls short sleeve tee, Sesame Street boys classes, and juvie. It's interesting. All right. And just somebody lost it. This lazy lady was just going crazy here. A Maine woman drove her car through a baseball field while a Little League game was underway, fatally striking a 68-year-old man who was shielding the terrified youngsters. Look at that. Just drove right through a Little League game while they were playing, and then killed a man trying to save the kids. Old news. I'm a little late on the party on this one, but I saw this recently and I was like, oh, okay. Google drops "Don't be evil" motto. That's pretty much all I needed to know. It's not like they were adhering to it in the first place. Yeah, this is really gross. So I had to share. But this is taking place, let's see. A woman has been filmed shaving her legs on the edge of a hotel pool as the guests swim close by. There she is. Isn't she lovely? Isn't she? It's not about the weight. I'm not going there with that. I'm just saying the actions are really disgusting. Look at that, man. Shaving her legs at a freaking hotel swimming pool. Unbelievable. Like school on Sunday. No class. Inside billionaires' bunkers where riches plan to sit out apocalypse in luxurious doomsday dugouts with swimming pools, cinemas, and wine vaults. Yeah, we're just talking about this. Look at that. This is where some of these super wealthy people think they're going to be sitting out the end of days in luxury. That. Whoa. It's a wine vault. And that's definitely going to come in handy. It says the demand is said to be soaring for underground bunkers. And that's how they think they're going to be living. But see, you see, no one's going to escape. You can't get away from this stuff. It's just prophecy. I mean, you can, but not through an underground bunker. You can try. You can try. Well, I love my kitty cats, but certainly not like this. Isn't just another crazy one. People losing it.
This woman accused of murdering her husband. She told police the reason she shot him had to do with their pet. Our Aaron Jones, live from the neighborhood now, where it happened. Aaron.
Dan, police say this all appears to be over the family cat. We now know tonight that the suspect is 47-year-old Mary Harrison. Police say just before 7 a.m. they were called to her house because they had learned that she was accused of shooting and killing her husband. Police say Harrison said she did it because her husband had been beating their cat. The husband was taken to the hospital but didn't make it. Police who live next to the couple say the two recently moved to the neighborhood with their 2 kids. They say the wife never seemed capable of murder.
I always have to point, this is Denver local news, but their symbolism is just unbelievable. But you can see it down there in the bottom right-hand corner. It's the all-seeing eye, of course, CBS, but then you get the pentagram between the twin towers. Unreal.
Like, they were some good people. They didn't bother nobody. You know, they was friendly. For a man to get shot over a cat, I don't know. That's kind of crazy.
I agree. There's another one that just, yeah, speaking of clothes, for you early Christmas shoppers here, it's a kids' shirts. Let's summon demons. Just unreal, you know. Let's sacrifice Toby. Look at this one. This stuff's not funny. Is this funny? Some people think this is funny. Let's sacrifice Toby with a 666. I don't get it. I don't like it. Demonic possession is real, and victims seeking exorcism should not be ignored. Prominent psychiatrist on the world beyond. It's a phenomenon that's on the rise throughout the world. The number of cases of demonic possession and demands for priests to carry out exorcisms is, according to multiple sources, soaring. Medical science remains skeptical. However, a Princeton and Yale-educated mainstream psychiatrist believes demonic possession is indeed very real and claims that the majority of Americans agree with him. With 25 years' experience in a private psychiatric practice and as a professor at New York Medical College and Columbia University, Dr. Richard Gallagher has a rare vantage point to observe human behavior. And then there's the inhuman. He is also a sought-after psychiatrist for discernment, the initial step in determining the need for exorcism. Dr. Gallagher has evaluated hundreds of cases of possible possession and, in a wide-ranging and rare interview with The Telegraph, explains why he believes the phenomenon is genuine. In April, at a Vatican training course for exorcist priests, participants were told that demand for exorcism is booming as a result of a decline in Christian faith, and the internet providing easy access to black magic, the occult, and Satanism. They're very, very smart. The intelligence level of a fallen angel, which is what I call them, is far superior to human beings. Dr. Gallagher on demons says Pope Francis has repeatedly reminded his followers that Satan is a real being roaming the earth to devour souls like a lion. In April, he wrote, "Hence we should not think of the devil as a myth, a representation, a symbol, a figure of speech, or an idea. This mistake would lead us to let down our guard, to grow careless, and end up more vulnerable." And of course, he has to say things that are right sometimes, Pope Francis, right? I mean, it's easier to get away with the deceptions when you pepper everything in with some truth. And that's definitely some truth right there he's spitting. A rare occasion, sure, but there you go. Last year, speaking to priests attending a Vatican course on confession, the Pope said confessors should not hesitate to refer penitents who are suffering from genuine spiritual disturbances to exorcists. Describing the rite of exorcism as a delicate and necessary ministry, the Pope admonished the exorcist priests must be selected with great care and great prudence. In the U.S., the number of priest exorcists has increased from 12 to 50 over the past decade. While demand for exorcism continues to surge, Dr. Gallagher's medical assessment of whether a person is mentally ill or possessed by demons will determine whether some exorcisms are conducted. He is not the only American psychiatrist who evaluates for possession. There are many others who consult on discernment. Dr. Gallagher is one of the few who is willing to talk about it. He has also written a forthcoming book on the subject. There are many other psychiatrists and mental health care professionals who do what I do, perhaps not to the scope that I do, who seem hesitant to speak out, he explained. That's what gives my work some singularity, that I have had so much experience and that I am willing to speak out. I feel an obligation to speak out. I think that I should. I think you should too. Speaking to the Telegraph at his office in Westchester County, New York, Dr. Gallagher said that while possession is very rare, in his medical opinion, it is real. There are cases of spirit possession in pretty much every culture, he said. He's evaluated cases referred to him by priests, rabbis, Christian ministers, and representatives of other spiritual traditions. Interesting. I could keep going. It's a long article. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but if you want to check it out for yourself, found it on Yahoo. Demonic possession is real and victims seeking exorcism. That's a long title, but you get the idea. You can find it if you want to find it. You know, it's out there. Survivors and families of those who were affected by Project MKUltra, also called the United States CIA mind control program administered at McGill University's Allen Memorial Institute in Montreal, are preparing a class action lawsuit against the Quebec and federal governments because of what they alleged had been done to them 5 decades ago. According to the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation, more than 40 Canadians for the first time gathered at Montreal condo over the weekend to share their disturbing stories about how MKUltra destroyed their lives. The government should offer an apology, and there should be recognition of the injustice that was done. Another long article, but I'm really glad to see this is getting some mainstream traction out there. These people are coming together and putting some light on this subject. Another one of those weeping statues. Those things keep happening as well. There's always some kind of weird statue anomaly out there. If this video will start. Looks like it's... Oh, allow. The Roman Catholic Diocese of Las Cruces is investigating reports that a bronze statue of Our Lady of Guadalupe at a southeastern New Mexico church is weeping. The Hobbs News Sun reports the investigation comes after alleged witnesses' accounts of the tears coming down the eyes of a bronze statue. First occurrence was during the noon mass earlier this month, and then again last week. The first weeping garnered regional and national news as visitors from throughout New Mexico and Texas flocked to Hobbs for a visit. No video, but just throwing that one in there. What do you guys think about that kind of stuff? About these statues weeping? 70-year-old who claims she is pregnant with a baby girl will become the world's oldest woman to give birth if it's true. Maria de la Luz has shown reporters ultrasound scans, which she says confirms she is 6 months pregnant with a baby girl. They told me it's a girl. Look, you can see her little face, she said at her home in Sinaloa. I can't pronounce it. I'm not going to try. Let's say Mexico. So there's the sonograms, allegedly. De la Cruz, who did not reveal any details of the pregnancy, including whether she had had IVF treatment or other similar procedures, said she first suspected she was pregnant 3 months ago. My legs hurt and I was vomiting and felt dizzy. Now they have done around 10 ultrasounds in a private clinic and in the public Social Security hospital. The doctors couldn't believe it, she told reporters. If the baby girl is born, it will make De la Cruz 4 years older than the current record holder. Currently, the oldest verified mother in the world, Busada de Lara, was 66 years and 358 days old when she gave birth to twin baby boys, Christian and Pau, in December 2006. They were delivered prematurely by cesarean section and weighed 3.5 pounds each. What do you think? I guess we'll see what happens. We'll see if this is true or not soon enough. Right? 70-year-old lady becomes pregnant. That's an old story. Here we go. Pentagon's secret UFO program investigated poltergeist connection to alien mystery. Now we're getting into it, folks. There we go. Let's connect these UFOs with the spirit realm, the interdimensionals. The investigative I-team for CBS affiliate KLAS TV in Vegas has brought forward new documents related to the secret Pentagon UFO program first revealed by New York Times in December. But even stranger than the documents, which delved into theoretical warp drive and extra-dimensional technologies, was the response provided to KLAS by an unnamed senior manager within the program who connected the Pentagon's UFO program to poltergeists, quote, invisible entities, and, quote, bizarre creatures. The new statement from BAASS to KLAS indicates the team contracted by the Pentagon, delved into phenomena far beyond the UFO purview indicated in the New York Times original reveal, in some ways continuing the paranormal research begun by founder Richard Bigelow in the 90s. The investigations by Bass provided new lines of evidence showing that the UFO phenomenon was a lot more than nuts and bolts machines that interacted with military aircraft. Right? We know that. We've seen a lot of these videos, right? Haven't we, guys? I put them up, put a new one up on the website a few days ago, actually. Some more really, really, really interesting sightings, recent ones. The phenomenon also involved a whole panoply of diverse activity that included bizarre creatures, poltergeist activity, invisible entities, orbs of light, of course the orbs, animal and human injuries, and much more. Bass manager also described research methodologies tailored to explain multiple eyewitnesses reporting widely different events. The new methodology, premised on utilizing the human body as a readout system for dissecting interactions with the UFO phenomenon, was put in place because Bass came to believe evidence indicated the UFO phenomenon was capable of manipulating and distorting human perception. All right. Cool. Last week I had several stories that were talking about smart technology and smart homes. You may remember that. So I wanted to throw this one in here because, again, how, quote, reality mirrors what we call entertainment and vice versa. This happens all the time. Netflix activates Smart House Tao. So yeah, they got this new horror film coming out about an evil smart house. I'm not going to read the whole article here. And of course, the symbolism. Get the basic beast system symbolism, right? Got the illuminated pyramid here. Got the upside down pyramid here. Looks just like the, and again, this stuff all just connects. Okay, so first off, to the point. Evil smart homes. We talked about it last week. Now we got the movies coming out, which was already made, I know, but I'm just saying it all kind of lines up together. And this reminds me of, remember what that thing looks like on the screen. Tom Cruise movie. Was it Oblivion? I think it's Oblivion. Images. And where is it? Let's do this. Oblivion. The pyramid. Thanks for your patience. I am looking for something. Why is it not in here? I know it was the movie Oblivion. It has a massive upside down pyramid with a red light on it. Huh. Let's see. Oh, that's why. Let's get rid of Tom Cruise. I wonder. Come on. Almost there. There it is. Yeah, there's another. Again, that upside down pyramid with the illumination in the middle, or the all-seeing eye. But see, so they use the same stuff all the time. Same idea, same concept, but it's representing the same thing, right? The beast system. This is just something cool I wanted to share with you. I thought it was really, really cool. Check out this weird creature. I've never seen anything like this before in my life. And it's real, but what is it? Gotta keep the music down. Okay, nice. The dude's got a 45-minute long intro. Got it. Okay, we get it. All right, here we go.
叫你老是那洗。这把锅子呗，把锅子。好不好？就是年轻我呀。哎，这年纪还是过了，这种不给。他去了不到去，他去了多久了？这已经收入了呀。来，快，快！
It really does look like a dolphin alligator hybrid or something, doesn't it? Cool, huh? This is something you can look up for yourself if you're interested. It's something I stumbled into, and I just kept going on and on and on. But the reported list of incidents involving Uber and Lyft drivers, this is just off the tracks here, man. There are so many stories here. You scroll and you scroll and you scroll. I mean, you rarely hear about these. We heard about the one Uber driver. I featured him in a couple of videos that had some real manifestations taking place. I mean, before the night he went to work, this particular night where he started killing people, shooting people, family guy, married, no history of anything, bad, and pulls out a gun and just starts shooting people as he's driving around, one night, his Uber. And later you come to find out that, he was seeing these manifestations. He said that his app turned on by itself. It turned red. A bunch of messages started coming out at him. A little demon popped up on there. I mean, the whole thing. This guy went, he had an experience, and he's in jail now. He hurt a lot of people, killed some people. But, all of these, man, I've Ubered. I'm sure you guys have too. I think it's fantastic. It's just, this makes sense, I guess, in a lot of ways too. It's real easy to get into it. I even looked into doing it on the side just for a little part-time income there for a while. It's pretty easy to get into. Pretty much anyone can do it. I believe, I didn't go through the process, but I don't know if there's background checks. I'm pretty sure there has to be. So, oh, well, here it is. Uber's process for onboarding drivers is dangerously negligent. Neither Uber nor Lyft use fingerprints or law enforcement to background check. Okay, then my bad. I was wrong. And that is probably why I've got this extensive list here of crimes associated with people driving Uber and Lyft, because anybody can do it, especially if you don't have to do a background check. That's kind of scary. You don't really know what you're getting into, but you can find this for yourself. It's at whoisdrivingyou.org if you're interested in reading some of these. And just more political correctness gone crazy. Bakery fires employees for denying service to a black woman after closing time. In Portland, 2 employees lost their job at a bakery for denying service to a black woman after closing time. Following the incident, Back to Eden Bakery issued several public apologies. In one Facebook post, the bakery's co-owner wrote, "We are doing business in a gentrified neighborhood in a racist city within a racist state of a racist country." Oh my gosh, people. I'm so... Stop it. The incident sounds all too similar to the Starbucks situation where a manager called the police on 2 black men who wanted to use the restroom and refused to buy something. Here's how ABC Local describes the incident. In one statement, Back to Eden Bakery says that according to its own surveillance video, a black woman named Lillian, who is well known in the area as a professional equity activist, entered at 9:06 p.m. after the bakery's closing time, assumed 9 p.m. Employees had also turned off the open sign, but several customers, all white, who had already ordered were still inside. 2 other white women who went to the bakery 2 minutes before Lillian and were also informed that the business was closed for the night. The bakery says Lillian left the store briefly and began recording her video. So because Lillian could not accept that perhaps some customers dealt with employees who were more relaxed on the rules, 2 employees have lost their jobs for following business protocol. In the bakery's own statement, the employees were not fired for being racist or for violating any rules, but because sometimes impact outweighs intent. I mean, it's just madness, man. It's madness. isn't it? Madness. And that concludes the news. So I'm going to close this window. And can we hear the chat room just for a little bit and say hi to you guys? Hey, guys. Okay, bye. No, I'm just kidding. Hey, thanks so much once again for being here, you guys. I appreciate you. I hope you enjoyed the show. There'll be more videos coming out this week. I mean, I got like 2 or 3. They're just about ready to go. I've been putting quite a few up on my website lately. If you don't ever go there, please go to whoiskjosborne.com. I'll leave a link below for that. Again, thanks to the Patreon supporters. If you'd like to support my work on these shows on Patreon, you can find links on my website. That's it, man. I'll be doing a Patreon show, speaking of that, probably this week. And I want to do just a chill and chat with you guys so we can hang out and talk. Hey, Effie, good to see you. Allie's here. Good to see you. Emma's here. Man, we get a full house. So that's it. I don't want to just keep rambling because I can do that from time to time. But God bless you guys, all of you. Thanks again so much for being here. Appreciate you being a part of it. And I'll talk to you a little later, okay? Have a great week.